Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how I made this tombstone made out of wood. It's a great Halloween craft project and a lot of fun. And there's so many ways you can do it. So if that sounds fun, then come along. My name is James and this is Homestyle Woodcrafts. There isn't much to this project really. I just need some scrap wood pieces. What I'm going to be using is a cut off from a cedar fence picket. I've got a scrap cut off from a 2x4 that I'm gonna make into a stake and attach it to the back so I can plant it into the ground. There's any number of ways you can get the writing on the tombstone. You could stencil it. You could just write it on. What I'm gonna do is print it on this freezer paper on the shiny side on my inkjet printer, and then I'll be able to rub that off onto the wood. And then I'm going to use that as an outline to wood burn. A couple more things about the wood. Cedar fence picket's a good choice for durability outside. If you don't use something like that, you'll want to keep it for a few years. Maybe paint it. Just do something to it to protect it from the elements. And also, of course, you can do bigger pieces of wood if you want bigger tombstones. I just thought it might be kind of cute. You could make a little graveyard out of a garden or something using these little tombstones. Let's get to work. I printed R.I.P. James on here on this freezer paper. So this is the slick side. I'm going to turn it over and try to transfer it at least well enough so that I can have an outline to do some wood burning. So here we go. I'm just going to take this wooden block to help press the ink onto the wood. Hopefully it's straight. Of course, you want to keep it as still as possible so it doesn't smear around. And let's see what we got. Nice. Well, I clearly didn't plan on that. Good news is it transferred well. So I'm going to turn it over, and I figured out a way to print it backwards with the help of my son. And the freezer paper smaller so I could more easily handle it. So I'm going to place it. Oh, looks like it might be almost too big. Let's give it a try. And voila. All right. Jay's a little faint, but workable. So I'm going to cut this down to size. Somewhere along in here. And then I'm going to wood burn that out. Oh, and while I'm cutting that down to size, I will cut this to size as well. For the stake that I'm going to put on the back, I'm just going to eyeball the length and make sure I can attach it well. I'm going to be using screws. I'm not sure how well the glue would do on this rough surface. So I'm just going to screw it. Maybe a short little stake, about that far. And now I'm going to put a point on the end of the stake. And it's not exactly symmetric, but it's going to be underground, so it'll be okay. I've got the wood burner heated up, and I'm going to wood burn the words. I'm going to outline them, and then I'll fill them in. And here's how it looks with the outline done. Now I'm going to fill it in. And here it is. Certainly not perfect, but it'd be perfectly suitable for a scary tombstone for Halloween. So the next thing I'm going to do is attach the stake, and then it'll be ready. But before I attach the stake, I want to point out a couple of alternative ways to have made this. So first of all, the shape of the top I just took from the top of the picket, but you could easily take any board and kind of do a round over with a jigsaw, a coping saw. I used a compound miter saw to cut this off at the bottom, but you could easily have used a circular saw or a hand saw. Just lots of ways to do this basic Halloween project. First thing I'm going to do is pre-drill some holes that will help keep the wood from splitting, and then I will screw the screws in. And there it is. So many things you could do to decorate this. You know, somebody more artistic than me could make this look really cool. So a lot of options here. I think I might outline this with the wood burn. It doesn't have to be square. There's just a lot of tolerance for error and a lot of allowability for creativity. So let's go stick it in the ground, see what it looks like. And there it is. Not too bad. This is one you can have a lot of fun with, so go have some fun. See you next time.